Well, the last couple of days have been really windy and blustery here in Mallorca. We were in Palma Nova on Friday, and on Saturday we went to Peguera, and it was very, very windy down there. Today we've come to the Playa de Palma, so we're on the opposite side of Palma now, and the sun's shining and there's lots of people on the beach, there's lots of people walking along the promenade, and just looking at the few bars that we've seen already, it looks quite busy here, and there's people actually sunbathing. Can't see anybody in the sea, but the lifeguard's out. He's at his station, and we're going to have a little walk around the Playa de Palma. We just crossed over the road. It's a little less blustery and windy here, but there's lots and lots of people walking along the promenade, but we're on the side where the bars and restaurants are, and as you can see, it's quite busy. It's all looking like a tourist area. It is an area of Mallorca that concentrates on the German tourists, so you'll see everything geared towards that market, and I'm guessing that that's the people we can see in the bars, restaurants here are probably from Germany, but it's busy. Was he?
Yes, the camarera.
Oh, here's one of the places we usually stop off. This is the best sports shop on the whole of the Playa de Palma, and it's run by a friend and former student, Sunil. I guess he's not at work today. Well, we'll see. Anita's going in anyway. She always likes to have a look, see what's going on. So we've just been catching up with Sunil, one of our former students who's taken over family business now, and he's got a wonderful sportswear shop here on the Playa de Palma. So if you're passing, pop in, say hello, buy a t-shirt. Lots of places playing music here, so that might play a little bit of a problem with the videos. Let's see. Oh, it's getting a bit windy. Oh, that's how windy it's getting. It's when you come to a place like this where there's nothing sheltering us from the wind, and it gets really blowy down here. As you can see, there's lots of people around. It's a Sunday, so you've got a lot of local people, Spanish people, who come out for a promenade, come out for a walk, and they'll come out for a drink, also have a coffee, a beer, or as we're going to do later on, and they'll probably be having a bite of it to lunch. So we can have a champagne here, yeah? Perhaps not. And then we have the street sellers as well. They're still out selling their wares, trying to sell their wares. You can perhaps hear the wind blowing the trees up above, the palm trees. But the sun's shining and the sky is mainly blue. And we've come out all wrapped up because it was so cold yesterday. Yesterday it was down to 14 degrees, and the weather forecast actually said it felt probably more like 7 degrees. Well, today the temperature's gone up, and it's probably closer to 20 degrees now, and certainly in the shaded areas where we're not getting the wind, it feels like 20 degrees. Once you get out into the windier parts, it just feel a little bit cooler, and then perhaps you're happier that you've put your jacket on, or Anita's put a scarf on. She's got a musical scarf on today.
I did yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Different colour.
Haha, different one. So we're just having a little walk along here. We're walking actually away from Palma towards Arenal, but we're not actually going to walk quite that far. Just going to walk a little way down here and then make our way back to find somewhere to go for lunch. There's a place along behind us where we quite often go, quite like to have lunch, so we'll probably head off in that direction. Later on this afternoon we're going off to the football match. Real Mallorca are at home against Elche, and certainly hoping for a good win, get a few more points under the belt and start to secure our place in the La Liga. We've had a few sort of indifferent matches, lots of draws, lots of games where we've got to the last few seconds of the match and then thrown away points, so we'll be hoping that that doesn't happen again today. Want to hang on to every precious point. So this afternoon, Real Mallorca versus Elche. If you're outside of Spain, you can try and find the match. Inside of Spain, you can try and find the match on the internet and watch. We were watching Real Madrid last night. Very exciting match against Rayo. Rayo really fought hard. One of our teams that we've got to watch. So, coming along here, it certainly does seem a lot busier than
Anywhere we've been.
yeah, certainly a lot busier than Palma Nova and Peguera. But as you can see here, some places are already closed up.
It's Sunday as well.
But well, this is actually doing a lot of work here, and we're open next 14th of April 2022. That's the Neptuno My Sea House Bed and Breakfast. Shall we make our way back? This is Mega Park just in front, which is actually all closed up. You can see Mega Park is these big bars, clubs, restaurants, all sorts of things going on in there. But again, very much aimed at the German market, but closed now. We're just crossing over now to the sea area. It might get a bit too windy here for me to keep the video on for too long, but you'll be able to see what the sea looks like, and the beach. There's a few little waves on there. In the distance there are a few yachts out, and this part there's nobody on the beach, but a bit further up there's a lot more people, so we're going to have a little walk up this way. You see these concrete obstructions here. They were put in after the truck drove and killed a lot of people. So it's to stop vehicles coming onto the promenade and driving along at high speed. So that's where they could come on. But we've never had any problems like that here in Mallorca. So yeah, some people sitting on the beach sunbathing, and further up people on the beach and in the sea splashing around. A few waves here, nothing spectacular, and there's no surfers out. You can probably hear the winds picking up a bit now. And sometimes it gets very windy and the sand starts to blow, and then we move away from it because it becomes a little bit painful. So that's the side we just walked down. We're going to head off in this direction a little bit more. It's getting a little bit busier on the beach. Ooh, the wind picks up. noticing those big motorbikes. All with German number plates. So it's easy for the people from Germany just to drive down. It's a long way, but they can come down on the motorbikes or in the cars. So we find a lot of German vehicles over here. Actually, having said that, yeah, they are all Ds, they are all German. A little bit more difficult for people in the UK, as they need to get the ferry across from the UK to France. So I'm trying to get in the sea there. Ooh, a bit chilly. It's one of the bars along the front. And really busy. A pair of sunglasses. Man has plenty. Every now and again the wind goes down and the temperature seems to soar all of a sudden. It's a totally different day from yesterday. Yesterday it was very grey and very windy. We didn't really have any rain, but it was very, very windy. Some street musicians as well. People sitting on the wall listening to the music. And, hopefully this won't have any effect on. Yes, he's playing songs that might be copyright, so we'll see. Might have to cut this bit out of the video, we'll see. YouTube doesn't like copyrighted music, so we'll see. And someone over there making sandcastles, that's good. We were in Weymouth a few weeks ago, and that's one of the places where if you want to see some fantastic artwork in sand, there's lots of examples in Weymouth. That's on the south coast of England. Oh, and the wind's just picked up again. I'm looking at the people now that are walking along. They are locals mostly. So the numbers are swollen by the local population. Just in the past few days, the weather has been the talking point of the island, particularly on the north. In Calarat Jada they had an enormous hailstorm which left inches and inches of hail on the ground. It looked like a scene from a Christmas card. And then yesterday in the same area, because the wind was in that direction, they were receiving winds of 9,500 kilometers per hour. Which was bringing the waves and smashing on the beaches, smashing on the promenades. So they've had it bad in the north and the northeast, where we down in the south and southwest have been a lot more sheltered. So we've not really been suffering from that. So I'm fishing here with 4 rods. Got their 4 rods out, all secured in the sand, and hopefully catching their Sunday lunch, I guess. It's the next to the beach bars, and this one is actually closed. see the flag in front, so it's showing the direction of the wind, so it's actually blowing out to sea, which is why we are a little bit more sheltered here. But particularly dangerous for anyone going out onto the sea with any of these rubber dinghies that they might have, because they can very, very easily get blown out. Good day for windsurfers. I can see one in the distance. And there's usually quite a lot getting a bit closer to Palma and Porticella area. As we come to this part, the shops are closed. It is Sunday, so you'd expect them to be closed, but in tourist areas they're allowed to be open on a Sunday, but they're not. This is a really long expanse of sand, so plenty of space for people to go. There's no official beds or sun umbrellas there, they've already been taken in along this part anyway. When we were in Playa yesterday, there were people already taking them up, but one beach certainly had a lot still left on the beach. Almost quiet and calm here. Almost. So there are some places open. Show you what it's like behind us now. That's looking towards Arenal. Some lovely waves now appearing. Very clear over to the horizon. Lots of little boats out there, little sailing boats. There's a big mega yacht out in the sea. We've had lots of those over recent weeks and months. That one looks particularly big, and just in front of it there are lots and lots of smaller little dinghies. Beach bars.
Yeah.
Lots of things closed. trying to spot the place we're intending to go for lunch. I'm just hoping that wasn't it. They're all closed up and empty. That's a hotel, she tells me.
I can't remember what it's called.
I think it might be on the next corner, so just a little bit further for us to walk. It's actually a little park that I think last time we did this walk we ended up walking through the park, which was quite pretty. The reason for walking through the park on that occasion was because it was so hot and it allowed us to get out of the sun, a little bit of shade. Yes, the wind's picking up again. Some cyclists here. So the last couple of videos we've been talking about promoting tourism during the winter months, and people are not going to come to sit on the beach in the winter time, so there's got to be something else to attract them. And one of the aims of the government here is to promote all sorts of different sports tourism. And cycling in recent years has become more and more popular, so there's lots of people already living on the island who participate in cycling activities, and lots of people who come to the island to practice their sport. So that one is an obvious one to promote. But there are lots of others. We mentioned golfing, but probably one I didn't mention was the sea side of things, sailing. I know people prefer perhaps to sail when it's fair weather, but in the winter time it's also good to, just to show that the tourism season hasn't completely finished here. There's a little train that's been driving up and down the Playa de Palma. I'm guessing that will continue until the majority of the hotels are actually closed up. There's another hotel that is open. All these people that are on holiday here have got to be staying somewhere, and there's one of the hotels right on the front here in the Playa de Palma that is open. And so the businesses next to it are also open. But not the beach bar in front.
The airplane's coming in as well.
Yeah, aeroplanes. We're walking towards the airport, so you can have a good view here of aeroplanes coming to land. We had a bit of a scare last night. The airport was actually closed. It's about 8:30, 9 o'clock. The night before. The airport was actually closed for a while because of an emergency. Sorry, yeah, the night before. What had actually happened was an aeroplane had taken off from Morocco on its way to Turkey, and there was a medical emergency, so this aeroplane had to land, and landed here in Palma de Mallorca, and 20 or so passengers decided to get off and make a run for it. Some have already been captured and arrested, but I think it sounds as though there are some that have not, so not very clear yet. But for about 3 or 4 hours the airport in Mallorca was actually closed. Aeroplanes that were heading towards Palma were sent off to different destinations, I think mostly Ibiza, and anyone that was in the airport in Palma waiting to take off simply had to stay put. either in the airport or on the airplane that they're on, and wait until the emergency was cleared. Everything seems to be back to normal now, and the airport's fully open and busy. There's another hotel, another Ibero Star hotel. And the restaurant very busy again.
You don't know which one we're going to, Don, do you?
No, I think maybe we need to cross over and have a look to see where we're going to go. There. Oh. We'll go and have a look and see if we can find somewhere to go for lunch, and we may come back to you, but if not, thanks for watching, and please subscribe if you haven't already, and we'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.
Bye.